Good morning, you're watching NDTV 24/7. I'm Amitabh Brevi. Tarun Tejpal's transit bail plea, which will be heard today. Details are available with NDTV. It says on the 7th of November 2013, while the said event was still on, the applicant had a meeting with one of his female colleagues. It is pertinent to note here that the said encounter was only light-hearted bantering, which led to a moment of privacy between the two individuals. It goes on to say, on the 8th of November, a further meeting took place between the two individuals, but the same lasted for a few seconds and no intimate moment was shared between the two individuals. The transit bail petition says the alleged colleague, referred to above, continued to party and was completely normal and friendly all throughout her stay in Goa. She went to the Remo Fernandez function, which began around 7:30 p.m. and which lasted into the late evening. The alleged complaint, the petition says, is clearly motivated, false and an afterthought with oblique motive. The language of the complaint itself shows that it is a false one with inherent contradictions. Neha Khanna, who has that transit bail petition of Tarun Tejpal, now joins us. Tell us more. Here again, he's raising aspersions on the journalist, saying that her complaint is clearly motivated, false and with oblique motive.
Well, Amitabh, Tarun Tejpal is now clearly casting aspersions on the victim. He may have, in his initial so-called apology letter to the girl, talked about doing penance and atoning for what he had done. But clearly we've seen a U-turn, complete U-turn on part of Tarun Tejpal. As you mentioned, we have accessed a copy of this anticipatory bail plea which has been filed in the Delhi High Court and is going to be heard today. And in this, Tarun Tejpal has gone back on everything. All the allegations that have been made against him, he's completely denied. And like I said, he's now in fact casting aspersions on the girl, questioning her motive and her conduct. As you mentioned, you did read out some portions of that petition, Amitabh. Significantly, this petition says that whatever happened between the two was just light-hearted bantering, which led to a moment of privacy between the two individuals, something that he says can be established by a bare perusal of the CCTV footage. He then goes on to say that the alleged colleague, and that is a very strange use of words really, continued to party and was completely normal and friendly throughout her stay. She went to this Remo Fernandez function. There was not a single whisper from any corner, including the above-mentioned lady, that any alleged untoward incident actually occurred. He says the applicant was shocked to learn that a false complaint was sought to be projected as an incident of alleged harassment. He then goes on to say after a long delay of over 10 days, the applicant was informed that the complaint had been received against him. The alleged complaint is clearly motivated, false, and afterthought with an oblique motive. The language of the complaint itself shows that it is false with inherent contradictions. He then goes on to say the lady continued to attend, participate in the conference festival with Elan. She took part in the evening festivals, of which there will be a CCTV coverage, photographs and other documents to substantiate that all was normal. So, of course, many could argue, Amitabh, that what does any of this have to do with the alleged incident that took place? The girl, of course, in her initial email to Shoma Chaudhary said that she thought it fit to carry on with her duties that had been assigned to her by the organization. And now Tarun Tejpal, her former boss, is now perhaps even raising questions over this girl, even over what, the duties that she performed during the course of that festival. In this petition, Amitabh, apart from raising all kinds of questions about the conduct and the motivations of the girl, Tarun Tejpal has also raised many questions about the conduct of the Goa Police and made a frontal attack on the BJP, saying this is political vendetta by the BJP, that they had a long-standing grudge against him since Tehelka did that investigative story, following which the then president of the BJP, Bangaru Lakshman, had to step down. He says that the wrath of the BJP leaders has now been unleashed on him, and this they seem to be telling him that this is now payback time for him for that sting operation that he and his organization carried out against the BJP many years ago. He also says that it's unprecedented that the state would go ahead, register an FIR and pursue a case in this manner without actually even obtaining the consent of the the alleged victim. So he's also raising questions about whether the Goa Police, was right in fact going ahead and registering this complaint without the girl even coming forward. So really, those are some of the points that Tarun Tejpal has made in his bail plea, which comes up for hearing later today. Of course, it remains to be seen whether he's going to get any relief from the Delhi High Court. At best, perhaps he can hope to get transit bail till the time he approaches the relevant court in Goa. But really, Amitabh, this petition raises larger questions really, because this man has not only gone back on everything that he had said in his initial email to the girl, which was purportedly an apology, but he's also now raising all kinds of questions about the girl's conduct, many of which many people would say are completely irrelevant and perhaps have nothing to do with the alleged incident. But well, it is very clear now that these are the points that Tarun Tejpal's legal team is going to bring up when the matter comes up for hearing in the Delhi High Court today.
Neha Khanna, thanks for that update on the bail petition of Tarun Tejpal, and we'll keep coming back to you for more on those the petition and what happens in court. Well, the Tehelka reporter had initially demanded that a committee be constituted by the organization to probe allegations, and after the story broke, it was announced that such a committee under Urvashi Butalia would look into it. But now it seems Urvashi Butalia has refused, as the police is already investigating the case. Her organization tweeted, "Zuban would like to clarify that our director Urvashi Butalia is not on the committee Tehelka was planning to set up in line with the Vishaka guidelines, nor on any other committee related to the Tejpal case." On Friday, the 22nd of November, Urvashi wrote to Shoma Chaudhary saying any such committee that was planned was redundant now that due process under the law had begun. A law intern who has alleged sexual harassment by a recently retired Supreme Court judge has expressed a lack of confidence in getting a fair hearing from the Apex Court's 3-member probe panel that had been set up to look into the matter. Last week, after deposing before the Supreme Court panel for the second time, she had said that she had complete faith in the inquiry. But now, in an interview to the Wall Street Journal, she said, "In cases of assault where there is no physical evidence, it's one word against the other. There's no reason why a law graduate would have won over a judge with a spotless record. Even now, for instance, when I appear before the panel, I feel I'm being looked at with suspicious eyes. I have to constantly justify that I am not lying. I'm not making up this story. I feel humiliated." She also said the reason for the delay in coming out with the sexual harassment allegation was that she feels Indian law is not equipped enough to sensitively deal with crimes against women.